Good evening, everybody. We're on the last job of the day. The issue is no hot water. There are no leaks or anything, just no hot water. It is an oil-fired water heater, so let's get some things together, go inside and take a look and see what we've got going. Okay, we've got a Carlin burner for a Bach oil-fired water heater. The issue here is that it is tripping out on reset. It will fire for a few seconds and then go out. The CAD cell has been replaced very recently, so odds are that is not the culprit. It does fire, so we do have spark. We can pull the drawer assembly out, but the service card says that the nozzle was replaced relatively recently, as was the filter at the oil tank. With all of that considered, it seems like we're having some kind of a fuel delivery problem. So let's take a look at everything and see what's happening. The power is off. Flip open our tray here. Let's get that tucked out of the way. Okay, let's start by pulling our drawer assembly out. Okay, so this is our drawer assembly. The electrodes, they look good and in a correct orientation. I do see some bubbles and fuel trying to spit out the end of the nozzle, so I'm going to say the nozzle is probably good. Yeah, I mean, I can blow on it and get fuel to spray out of it, so that doesn't seem clogged. So it was running, so it should be primed. We'll see if we get fuel out of here. Okay, so we're going to turn the burner on. I'm going to use a little catch cup here, and we're going to see if oil comes out of here. And oil should come firing out of here if we have all the supply to the burner correct. Okay, so there is no oil coming out of here. So either we don't have oil to the oil pump, or the oil pump is failing and is not delivering oil to the nozzle. Let's crack open this flare fitting right here. It should have tank pressure, so there should be oil almost instantly when I do that. Okay, let's go ahead and open this up. You see there's oil. You can't see it, but it immediately started coming down to the end of the pipe here and leaking all over, so we definitely have oil to the pump. The other thing we can do real quick, just to make sure, is crack open our bleeder, turn it on. We do have oil to the pump. So for whatever reason, you could see oil was coming out of the bleeder, but it was not coming out of here. So this pump has failed and we need to replace it. So to do that, we're going to need to remove our Firematic valve, which means we need to disconnect our oil line, which means we need to go shut the tank off. We'll come over to the tank and get the Firematic valve down here. These reverse threads, and we'll just spin that handle off, push up on the stem, make sure that it's seated, and now we can go take apart that firematic valve. Okay, so go ahead and take our flare off. Shift everything over so it lays onto the pig mat all right. Okay. Now we need to take our firematic valve off of the pump. Now we need to take the firematic valve off of the pump. Which is being stubborn. Okay, that firematic valve seems to be being pretty stubborn. So what I'll do is I'll dismount the pump first so that we don't shift the burner too much around. Okay, to take these pumps, to take the pumps off, there's a bolt here and a bolt right here. They are a 1/2 inch bolt. They have a star washer, so remember to hang on to that. And then they just pull straight off, just like that. And they have a little flat side here, which corresponds to the little adapter inside the fan here. Okay, so we have our new one. It is a A2VA-7116B by Suntec, which is exactly what's on the side of this. So we'll open this up. Comes with a little plug here, with some installation for 2-stage or single-stage fueling, and this is the new pump. So we will be coming in here. The bottom ports stay plugged. And this rear port we will undo, and we will put our fitting in here to get our tube up to our nozzle tray. Okay, so now that we can maybe get a better attachment point for our wrench onto here, let's go ahead and see if we can get this stubborn. There it goes. The reason I want to use this old one, if I can, is because the face of it is matched with the copper tubing. A new one would probably seat just fine too, but if I can, I'd like to use this. Plus, the homeowner here is on a bit of a budget, so that's one less thing that they would have to pay for. And if I can save them a little bit of cash, this is working fine. I will just reuse it. So let's go ahead and take our new one. Go ahead and pull this plug out. Okay, that's one. Come to this back side here. Pull this plug out as well. Go ahead and remove our line here off the old one, as well as the fitting that goes along with it. Okay, put the old one off to the side and let it drip out a little bit. Grab some of our gas oil dope here. Dope these threads up bare. Clean it out a little bit. Just so the less crap we can get in there, the better we will be. Spin this on there. Some oil in the new one. Good like that. I'll flip it over to this side. Go ahead and put some dope on our Fireomatic. thread this in. Okay, I'll go just a hair more with that. Okay. I pointed it out earlier, they have this little plug here that is a bypass plug. So under this cap here, you would stick that up, but you do not want to insert a bypass plug if you have a one pipe installation. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick this in. I'll line up our flat part. That's our air gauge, so we want to keep that on. And we want to line this up. Once we find that flat spot, we can stick it in. Take our bolts, and line up our holes. Snug them down. Do the same thing over here. And we'll just take our socket. And just snug them up. Go ahead, reinstall our tray. Take the retaining nut, spin that on there. Snug it. We'll take our tube in here. I'm going to put that on. Looks like we are going to need to turn our fitting a little bit. We can get our tube on. Just a little bit more. Snug that side up. Come over here. Okay, just like that. Thread this in. Then we'll take our flare fitting. We'll do the same thing. Tighten that up. We'll turn the tank back on. Okay, so again, these Firematic valves have reverse threads. So we want to spin it opposite of what you're always told. Now, do the same on here. Open this up. Should have tank pressure to here. Everything looks good, leak free. Let's close our transformer. Go ahead and tighten it down. Let's break our bleeder so we can prime this pump. Grab our cup. Now it's time for the moment of truth. We will turn on the switch, bleed it out, and see if we get flame. Oh yeah, there's a much stronger flow out of that. No leaks here, which is good. Come over here. Ooh, it's warm in there. Okay, so clearly there's some a little bit of backdraft in there, which is not exactly ideal. And as you can see, this smoke pipe is pitched downwards. That's not going to help things at all. There's also no draft-o-stat in this setup. There's one for the furnace tucked in the back there, but not one for this unit here. Right now they just want hot water. I'll let them know about these things, but it's not ideal. It seems to be running good now. It was a little rough to begin with. I think there might have been some oil in the firebox, but we're running good now. It's staying lit, maintaining flame, and we should be heating the water up. So I'm gonna let this run through a cycle, make sure the burner shuts off when it should, make sure we get hot water, and then we should be out of here. But we were correct in our diagnosis that that oil pump that was on there was bad. The new one is strong and giving us lots of fuel. Another thing I noticed while I was waiting for it to heat up is our relief valve blowdown tube is reduced to 1/2 inch. All right, so our burner just shut off, and you can come over and touch any of the exposed fittings. They are warm to the touch, so it seems like everything is working as it should. There are no additional fuel leaks or anything like that. That's all been checked. You can go down and just confirm that. As you can see, no drips or runs or anything like that from any of our connections. So other than those few oddball items that I will let the homeowner know about, the job we were here to diagnose and fix has been accomplished. That oil pump was bad. We replaced it. We now have flame and hot water again. Okay, so we got that oil pump switched out. We're all set there. Their water's hot. It should be working as it should. Pretty quick and easy. It's just a matter of going through and diagnosing that you have a fuel issue and making sure that it is the pump there. They're pretty easy to change out once you do have that diagnosis, and it's a lot less expensive than replacing the whole burner by a long shot. Lots of guys will just try and sell you on a whole new burner. You don't necessarily need that. Sometimes you just need the pump. With that though, everybody, it is getting dark outside. It's time for me to go home. This was the last job of my day. I just want to thank you for coming along and joining me on this one. If you liked anything, if you got something out of this video, please hit that like button down below. It really does help out the video, helps out my channel, helps me to get out the word and tips and tricks and show everybody how to do these things. While you're down there, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button so that you can come and join me again on another job. And until that next job, I hope you all have a good one, and I will see you there. Bye for now.